What's up, and welcome back to Homeschool. So today, we're going to be walking through the typical mortgage process from start to finish. This is largely going to be from the point of view of the lender. So we want you to know what's actually going to be happening behind the scenes so you have a better idea of what that mortgage process looks like. Let's introduce you to the main characters who will play a major role in this process. First, there's the mortgage lender. This is the institution lending the money for your loan. You know, people like loanDepot. Next up is the loan officer themselves. These are the people who will speak to you the most during the whole process that you're going through. Think of them as your guide throughout your loan process. Next up, the mortgage processor. Their job is to actually review your loan application and verify all the information taken during that process. Now let's meet the underwriter. This is a very important character since these are the only folks who can actually authorize and approve your loan. Their job is to assess the borrower's financial risk. The last person that you need to know about is the closing agent. The closing agent helps you get all the way to the finish line by guiding you through the signing of your documents and transferring the funds. All right, so now you've met the main characters in the mortgage, let's talk about the mortgage itself. Now, the first step is what we call the disclosure process. This is where you'll receive your loan estimate and all the different disclosure documents to review and sign. And your loan officer will go over the different ways that you can stay in contact with them. So step 2 is completing your file. The lender's going to prep your file and send that all the way through underwriting. You might actually get a call from the processor at this point. Now we're at step 3. This is usually that appraisal process. This is how we determine what the value of the home actually is. This is considered one of the most important steps for all lenders, and they will try to order this as quickly as possible. Once again, you should be receiving detailed explanation about how this step works. All right, are you starting to notice a trend? A good lender is going to give you as much information as possible. Every stage of this journey is important, and they should be providing you as much transparency so that you understand exactly what's happening. All right, let's move on. So here we go with step 4. This is where you should be getting your initial loan approval. Depending on the timing, this usually takes a few days or less. All right, so here we are on step 5. This is where you get your closing disclosure. And yes, closing disclosure does sound a little funny. Anyways, this is where your lender delivers a document to you that's going to outline all the terms and final costs of your mortgage. Once again, a good lender will be in constant communication and provide plenty of education on how to understand these documents. Let's look at step 6. This is the final sign-off. Your lender will take all that info that they've collected from steps 1 through 5 and send it back to the underwriter for their final approval. All right, you've made it to step 7. Congrats, you've been approved. Now you can actually celebrate and start to figure out what your ideal closing timeline looks like. Let's take a look at step 8. This is what most lenders are calling closing expectations. Your lender will prepare closing documents and should be educating you on what to expect from the closing and funding process. Step 9. This is when the loan documents go out for final signature. Your lender's going to update all the parties out there, and they're going to actually work with the teams to set an appointment for closing. This is where the final documents will be signed. And now, finally, here we are at step 10. You did it. This is the final step where the lender actually funds that mortgage and you officially take ownership. This is your home now. There you go. This is a glimpse of what happens behind the scenes and what the mortgage company has to do to get you all the way to a final approval. We appreciate you, and class dismissed.